Hello everyone, welcome back to Fantasy Tales. Today we will be finishing our review series on Tales of Arcadia by discussing the movie, the end of Tales of Arcadia, and systematically destroyed the Trollhunters fandom through its ending. So let me tell you the ups, the downs, and my conclusion on Trollhunters and the fall of Tales of Arcadia. Before we start, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. Lets me know you are enjoying this content.
And also, I have a gaming channel called Dream Games, where I play a bunch of random games with my brother. So if you want to go check that out, go into the description and you'll find the link to it. And with that said, let's get into it.
This movie picks up a year after the events of Wizards, and starts with a fight between the team and the Arcane Order, who continue to hunt Nari, the defector of the Order. The fight ends with Nari being taken and Jim injured. Yet when Duxie awakens, it is seen that he switched consciousness with Nari in order to keep her safe. We also have the Acaridians return, a moment I will talk about later. With the aliens and Eli returning to help the United Heroes to stop. Hey, Strickler and Amora are back! Anyway, the Arcane Order begin a spell with the Genesis seals, only to discover it is Duxie who inhabits her body. They quickly force him out of her body, with her splouting some cryptic language which is the main drive for the film. They quickly resume to rescue her, but not before Krell hands Jim a new amulet, as it was destroyed during the events of Wizards. They then travel to the Arcane Order's hideaway and fail to stop the spell. The Titans then begin to rise and make their way towards Arcadia for very stupid reasons. All of them come together to formulate a plan. Aja says to abandon Earth and begin an evacuation of the planet, with everyone disagreeing. Jim steps in and deploys everyone into teams in order to try and stop the Titans. It ends in failure, with Nomura and Strickler being killed. Although Jim's team put up a remarkable fight with the help of a massive mech, it still ends in failure. Yet they were able to recover the MacGuffin of the movie, the Chronosphere. Resolving to focus on getting Nari back, they try and succeed in getting her on their side again, and she battles the Ice Titan to the death. They both perish, and the battle seems won, only for them to discover that only one Titan is needed to reset the world using the Heartstone in Arcadia. With all their plans spent, they try one last time to pull Excalibur, finding that it took all of them to do it, and using it, Jim kills Belrock and ends the fight. That's the gist of the ending without me spoiling it. Though many have already watched the movie, I wanted to keep the last part to myself till later. So let's talk about the good parts of the movie I like. Unlike many, I like this movie, at least the main part of it. Something that some people who watch the movie agree with. With others that don't like the movie for points I agree with. But let's get to my first good point. Something I appreciate the movie for is that it was able to get all the main and sub-characters back for the movie, even though it was for a short period. Even characters we didn't get to see much of, like Charlemagne, being a pretty big part of the movie. The very fact that they were able to get sub-characters back still amazes me. Second thing, the Titans. Their designs and scenes in this movie were cold and amazing to see, especially when you were told that these things are what the Arcane Order used to create the universe. That just added a whole nother level of brokenness to them. And what I appreciate is that they were defeated by each other or having their power taken away, so it didn't downplay their actual power, though I do wish we got to see a bit more of it. That's another thing I praise the movie on, is the amount of lore it adds to the show. And while some of it is just made up and wrong, like the part where Arcadia and Earth is the center of the universe, most of it is genuinely thought-provoking and my theorist brain is kicked into gear for the near future. The main characters are mostly well written, with them acting how I would expect them to, and what they accomplished in the movie. Claire was great in her feats of power and her relationship with Jim. Blinky is entertaining in his speeches and actions in the movie, which was comical to see. Jim, bar my last criticism from my last video, is actually better than I remember. While he does go through a similar journey he's already gone through before on becoming, it was good seeing him as the leader and hiding his doubt around the others in most of his conversations. And that scene where he armors up with that soundtrack at the end is the best, casting Balrog down from his titan Excalibur in hand. We'll need to find someone in the rubble. I couldn't keep holding out this moment, and possibly the best character in the movie is Toby. Believing throughout that he was just the emotional support. He feels unappreciated, and is mainly in the background, reacting to everything and not doing. Yet in the final battle, he has a plan to finally end the fight and positions himself to disable Balrog's magic, helping Jim land the killing blow. Everyone rejoices at the battle's end, for them to wonder where Toby is. Jim frantically looks, only to find his broken body. I can't show the whole scene for copyright reasons, but seeing this scene after everything we as the audience and characters have gone through, the score in the background lifting higher and higher until lowering, signifying Toby's passing into the afterlife, saying, "I didn't think, I became." Jim cries his name, and Nog loses it and smashes the chronosphere, rolling over to Jim. This is the part of the movie that has gone downhill and made the fandom of Trollhunters never look at the series the same since. Jim, noticing the crack in the sphere, picks up Excalibur and breaks it, revealing the mother effing time stone. That isn't a joke. The characters call this green rock that has control over time the Time Stone from Avengers. Jim then surmises to use the Time Stone to go back in time and save everyone, resetting the timeline and wiping everyone away. We get the most cliche speeches I have ever heard. Jim then resets the series to episode 1 of Trollhunters and begins the process to help everyone and instead have Toby become the Troll Hunter and we end the movie. The reason I and everyone hates this movie is because of this scene, basically implying that everything we watched from episode 1 of Trollhunters to now was a complete waste of time and just opens up even more questions to me. Not only that, but the fact that every character was alright with them being erased and hoping that they might be together again, on the basis Jim can convince all of them to be together again. It's not a bad ending if this was a continuation to another movie, like Infinity War was to Endgame. It's bad because it isn't, and was made very clear that this would be the end of Tales of Arcadia. The only reason there is a season 4 of Trollhunters coming is because no one liked the movie and actively hates it because of what it implies to all of us. That's not the only thing though. Steve, my favorite character, got a pregnancy arc in the film. Again, I'm not joking. I'm not even giving a reason for this one. It was a stupid decision, and basically everyone who has watched the movie hates this aspect of it the most. Everyone. The other bits are just nitpicky, like the part where Arcadia is the center of the universe, even though in 3 Below, Krell literally says that they're millions or billions of light years away from there. So that was just made up. And that's kind of it. Again, they're just nitpicks. I don't want to come off as mean or rude to the creators, because I genuinely like this movie. If you got rid of the pregnancy and time travel part of this movie, it would be a straight 10 out of 10 from me. But not only does it make the last 8 years of my life wasted, it has left a bitter taste in my mouth whenever I think about this series, as it just reminds me that nothing matters. Everyone who died or sacrificed themselves or did anything to further the story did it for nothing. I have hope the new season 4 of Trollhunters will fix that. But with DreamWorks' mixed results in movies and terrible taste in TV shows at the moment, it's hard to say if it will fix it or make it worse. We will just have to wait and see. And with that said, may the glory of Merlin be with you always.